to the Gooch Man. 187W balls. Got them Guns N' Roses tickets coming up at the top of the hour. I just got done looking at Isabel Paige's Instagram. It was beautiful. And now, coming at you, the #1 song in the land. I just shook a raccoon off of the antenna to get you this message. Coming at you live. Metallica, Inner Sandman. Welcome to the Dollar Bill Show, episode 59. So I got to go to the doctor in the morning and get my stitches taken out of my arm, and I'm excited about that actually because I haven't been able to work out hardly. I'm scared of ripping the stitches out of my arm, and I had a tumor. I had a tumor in my arm that was like about the size of a ping pong ball or something like that, and had been there for like 4 or 5 years, and I fucking hated it because I was like, I could see it whether anybody else could see it or not. I felt like it looked like, you ever seen when Ric Flair had that big tumor on his back? I mean, it looked like a baseball. It wasn't that big, but still yet, it was noticeable, like right there on, what is that, your tricep? I don't know. But anyway...
It's not a tumor.
It was a tumor, Arnold. It was a tumor. But it was just a lipoma. And like they did it in the office. And I was scared shitless anyway, man. And like the doctor was, people fuck with me. It seems like everything I do, they fuck with me or whatever. And I tell him what I do, like I got this podcast, and like, of course, and I said, it's kind of like the future of what Howard Stern does or something like that, I feel like, except it's me. And of course, he hates Howard Stern. He hates him and all of this shit. And and he was like, do you want to go to Sleepy to do this? Like in the office? And man, normally I would have said yes, but like it just so happened that Dr. Dan, who is on the radio with Bubba, I watched him do a similar procedure a couple months ago, and it was literally like God showing me him do this procedure, and right there in his office, and it was just like a little simple surgery. And that one wasn't as big as mine, but luckily it had been so long I kind of forgot that, I guess. And anyway, so I was like, nah, man, let's do it right here. And like I was a man, dude.
Wow.
I was a man. And I was a man. And so they did it. And the nurse's name was Dixie, so I was a little bit...
This is why nobody trusts white people.
I was a little worried about that, but ended up, she was fucking great, this lady, and there was 3 of them there doing this surgery, like a doctor in training from WVU, and at least I was right there his office was at the hospital, so like, I was in case like I bled too much, I guess, or whatever. Hopefully they could rush you to the ER and fucking save your life.
Wow.
But so anyway, he does this, cuts it out, man, and he's like making small talk, and he's like, he tells me to go towards the light at one point, and I was just like, this motherfucker, man. And but it ended up being good. It was actually the first time I've ever had stitches. And I was tough. Like I said, I was a man. And I did this shit without being put to sleep. And like, I fucking hate being put to sleep. So like that was worth the whole thing. You know, it's like somebody has to come and pick you up, and you can't just go on your own or whatever. So like I did all this and then went and got a sandwich afterwards and rode the bus home, and like everything worked out. But for the past 2 weeks, I have to be careful because I don't want to rip these stitches out of my arm. So I'm real excited to get them taken out. And I had never had stitches, and I did a good job of keeping them clean. And I've had a puncture wound, like right there in my hand. There's like, see that there's like a, I don't know if you can you see it? It's a diamond shaped thing right there. I was like screwing in this fire thing one time in Las Vegas in the ballrooms at the city center. And I'm sure I was fucking high. I was definitely high on Lortabs, and with an impact drill, and it was like a self-tapper screw, and it fucking slipped off with a 3-inch apex and had all kinds of metal on it and spun and went all the way down into here. And, you know, it's bigger around than like twice the size of this pencil probably. But when I pulled it out, it shot blood like 3 feet in the air. And like my buddy, he about fucking passed out and shit off of it. And like I couldn't even feel it. And I just wrapped it up. But I did go to the doctor just to get more pills at the end of the day. And they couldn't do anything to it because of the type of skin that is right there on your hand. It's like they can't. I get that skin is like so stretchy that they can't sew that up apparently, or it's like would do no good. So, yeah, but luckily man, just by the grace of God, there was no pieces of metal or anything like that. But that hand, I mean, I can feel that still to this day where I did that. But luckily, like everything works in that hand, and it just went on the inside of all those bones and tendons down all the way down fucking like this deep, man, at the edge of my hand like that. And, yeah, that sucked. But anyway, man, I hate seeing my own blood. Like, that was something that was a little bit different, you know, but, like from this surgery, I could tell when he popped, and they sent it off to get, but it's just like a fatty tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Yes, it is. Unbelievable. And it was just this glob of fat, I guess, and they sent it off, you know, do a biopsy on it or whatever. But hell, it had been there for like 4 or 5 years and never did grow. But so yeah, I try not to look at any of that shit, man. Like when I go to the doctor, I don't want them to tell me my blood pressure or anything like that. I tell them, I said, don't tell me my blood pressure if it's high or anything like that. I don't want to know any of this shit. And like, I thought that's like some kind of law that they do that, because I have that white coat shit kind of, and syndrome. And I don't want to hear any of this mess about my blood pressure and all of it, because I know it's going to be higher because I'm in the fucking doctor's office. And I told her not tell me my blood pressure, and sure enough, she fucking tells me, and it was like a little bit high when I went in there, of course. And I don't want to hear that shit. And anyway, on that, like after the surgery, I accidentally looked, and like there was this pile of fucking gauze, and it was just like, it was a lot of blood, man, from that. And I was okay, man. I got out of there, and I had me a little. I take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with me when I go on excursions, and the Queen of England, she would take a marmalade sandwich with her, but that's just like a thing. I feel like that's a thing that runs in my family anyway. It's like people get low blood sugar. I used to get that when I was a little kid and feel like I was going to pass out. I actually have passed out before from low blood sugar like that. But I got that and then went and got me a little chicken salad croissant sandwich from the M&M Mart, and the M&M Mart is the shit, dude. And they'll make you like any kind. You can go in there and like get the Mac Miller on what is that, egg salad with ham and cheese, or I substitute that with turkey sometime with a piece of sharp cheddar or extra sharp cheddar. That's good.
Wow.
And they also take EBT cards, and you can get sandwiches and stuff like that. So check them out in Kanawha City. Okay, so I have been fascinated with my favorite show, and it's on YouTube, and it's just Isabel Paige's, like, what do you want to call it? Her diary, I guess, where she does these short 15 to 20-minute videos, and they're just like the most beautiful scenes, and they're kind of like goth almost in a way. There's scenes that there was this one scene in there this week where she like took this big ass knife and chopped this pumpkin, and it was just like the most beautiful setting, like in her little place, and lit like with all these colors, and it almost reminded you of a scene from The Shining or something like that. It was really cool.
So I've been coming down here to the river almost.
But it starts off, and she's like, the show starts off, and she's like sitting in this creek, well, the river, I guess, and it's like all looks beautiful too, and she's sitting on this rock out in the water, and like the water was like flowing right towards. She's sitting there like, I'll show the picture, like sitting there, and it's like the water's like flowing right towards her cooter on this rock in the water, and the camera was behind, and it's almost like one of them expensive porno movies or something from like the early 2000s when they actually like, people. I remember one time somebody got like mixed up and sent, and there was somebody in the neighborhood where I used to live that got these porno movies sent to them, and they were fucking like, people paid like $100 to get pornos on VHS tapes and shit like that back in the day.
So I've been coming down here to the river almost every morning, and there is no greater feeling on earth than the feeling of getting into cold water and then taking your first sip of hot coffee. It is like, wow. Oh.
Wow.
When the nights are cooler and the days are hot, it just feels like I've been waiting all year for this, you know? Like I'm taking a big when the nights are exhale.
But anyway, and then it's just packed full of beautiful scenes, and she picks these fucking apples, and it was like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen when she's picking these apples, man. And then there's this other scene where like she lights these candles from this table, and I wonder now, because and the cat almost gets burned, but like at the end after that, like she seems like she's high, man, and supposedly like they grow dope on their property, so like she might be, dude, she might be fucking fried out there, and you know how that Oregon dope is, it's killer.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get burned. Don't. Oh my gosh.
But luckily the cat didn't get burned, and everything was okay. So you guys have a great evening, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again.